On this video, I would like to continue what I have been doing, and that is a commentary on Ecclesiastes, doing a reading of the text in Hebrew, along with a grammatical study and a commentary application. So we're at verse 12, and from 12 to the end of chapter 1, we're going to be looking at his quest for wisdom. And he's going to find that the Kohelet will be saying that wisdom also is vanity. For in much wisdom is much sorrow, and he who increases knowledge increases pain. He knows about life, but he can't solve all of its riddles. So we begin at verse 12. We've already done the introduction, 1 to 11. So now we look at the vanity in his quest for human wisdom. Notice he says, Ani Kohelet Hayiti Melech al Yisrael Berushalayim. I, the Kohelet, I was king over Israel in Jerusalem. Kohelet is from Kahal, an assembly, and this is one who addresses an assembly of learners. It's a Kal participle feminine singular from Kahal. And Hayiti is the Kal perfect first common singular from Hayah. So I, the Kohelet, was king over Israel in Jerusalem. And again, Solomon describing himself, I believe. Venatati et libi lidros uletur behokma al ko asher na'aset tachat ha-shamayim. Hu inyan ra natan Elohim livnei ha-adam la'anot bo. And I applied my heart, or I gave my heart to search out or to seek and to search with wisdom concerning all which is done under the heavens. It is a sore task that God has given to the sons of men, literally to afflict them in it, we could say. Notice here, I gave my heart. Natati is the Kal perfect first common singular from Natan. And I gave my heart. Lidrosh is from Darash. It's a Kal infinitive construct from Darash, to seek. Velatur, and to search. Another Kal infinitive construct from Tur, to search with wisdom, Bachokmah, concerning all which is done. Na'aseh. Notice here we have, I believe, a Nifal perfect third masculine singular from Asa. All which is done, Tachat Shamaya, under the sun. It is a sore task which God has given, Natan, a Kal perfect, again, third masculine singular from Natan, to the sons of men, La'anot bo, to afflict them in it. Some translate this to be exercised in it. I think the idea here is it is a sore task which God has given that brings affliction with human knowledge, because as we'll see, one can't solve the riddles of life, no matter how much knowledge one has. La'anot is from Ana. It's the Kal infinitive construct from Na, a Lamed He verb, which God has given to the sons of men to afflict them in it. Verse 14. Ra'iti et kol hama'asim shena'asu tachat ha'shamish v'hine ha'ko hevel ura'ut ra'ah. Notice he says that I have seen all the works which are done or have been done under the heaven, and behold, all is vanity and a striving or chasing after the wind. If you catch the wind, what do you have in chasing after it? Notice here, ra'iti is the cow perfect first common singular from ra'ah, a lamed hay verb where the hay has elided in the I. The yod reappears. So I have seen all the works which are done, shena asu from asa to do, which have been done, a cow or a nifal stem here, a nifal perfect third person plural from asa. Notice she here is your relative pronoun, which some have wanted to date the book because of she, a shortened form of sher, a relative pronoun. However, Shah in Akkadian could be a reflection of that kind of an idea being used here, not necessarily a late dating of the Hebrew text. But at any rate, which are done tahat hashemish v'hinei kol hevel, and behold, all is vanity and uraut ruach, and a striving after the wind. In other words, everything seems to be vain, fleeting, and it's transitory. It's like trying to catch the wind. And if you could try to catch it, what do you have? You can't catch it. And so he goes on to give a proverb as to why. Notice he says, "Me'uvat lo yuchal litkon, v'chasron lo yuchal lehimanot." That which is crooked cannot be made to be straight, and that which is lacking cannot be made to be numbered. Notice here, as we look at this grammar, me'uvat, that which is crooked. Here we have a pu'al from avat, a pu'al, a participle, masculine singular, that which is crooked cannot be made. Yuchal is a cow imperfect, third masculine singular from yachal, is not able to be made straight. Litkon from takan, it's the cow infinitive construct here from takan, and that which is lacking, bechezrom lo yuchal lehimanot, that which is wanting is not able to be numbered. Notice here again, yuchal, the cow imperfect, third masculine singular from yachal, and lehimanot is to be numbered. It basically is the nifal, infinitive construct from mana, to number. And notice the dogish in the mem shows the noon of the stem, or the noon of the nifal has assimilated into the mem by progressive assimilation. So in other words, you have something crooked, but you can't make it straight. And you have, let's say, 7, but you can't get to 10. You need 3 and you can't find 3. You're trying to get to 10. So that which is wanting cannot be numbered. Then in verse 16, he speaks, Dibarti ani im lebi lemor, ani hine higdauti v'hosafti chokma al ko asher haya lefanai al Yerushalayim, v'lebi ra'a arbe chokma v'da'at. He says, so I spoke with my heart. In other words, I meditated, I thought, I spoke in my heart meaning mind here. And notice dibarti is from dabar. It's a PL perfect first common singular from dabar. I spoke with my mind, lemor saying, cow infinitive construct from amar, saying, Ani hini higdauti, behold, I have gotten wisdom. I have become great. Higdauti is a Hifil perfect first common singular from Gadal. I have gotten great and I have increased wisdom. I have added wisdom. Notice Bahosafti is another uh, Hifil from Vasaf. I have gotten wisdom, or I have increased my wisdom. Al kol asher haya lefanai al Yerushalayim. I have increased wisdom above all which were before me in Jerusalem or over Jerusalem. Belibi ra'ah arbe hokmah bada'at. Indeed, my heart saw much wisdom and knowledge. In other words, I kept my wisdom, I kept my knowledge, but what I'm seeing is I just can't understand the riddles of life. And so he is wondering, what is life about? Uh, in other words, my heart has seen uh, has had much wisdom and knowledge, above all, which were before me. And yet, I can't seem to put the riddles of life together. So then we come to the next verse, verse 17. V'etana libi leda'at hokmah v'da'at holelut v'shiklut yadati shagam zehu rayon ruach. And so I applied, or I gave my heart to know wisdom and to know madness and folly. And I know or perceived, indeed, this is vanity. And I perceived, indeed, this was a striving after the wind. In other words, again, it's vain in that it's like striving after the wind, because the crooked cannot be made straight. Notice the etena is from Natan. It's the cow imperfect first person singular from Natan, with the making it rather emphatic here. So I applied my heart. Lada'at is the cow infinitive construct from Yada, to know wisdom, Hokmah, and knowledge, and I also to know madness and folly, or the knowing of madness and folly. In other words, I applied my heart to all of that, to both the folly and the knowledge of life, and I know that indeed this is a striving after the wind. Vayadate shagam zehu rayon ruach. Yadati is the cow perfect first common singular from yada. Why again? Ki berub hokmah rav ka'as. V'yosif da'at yosif machov. That is, for in much wisdom is much vexation, and the one who adds or increases knowledge increases sorrow or pain. Notice here, key in much wisdom is much vexation. Then the one who increases, but Yosef is from Yasaf. It's a Hifil imperfect, third masculine singular from Yasaf. Historically, Vasaf, I believe, a pei vav verb. The one who increases knowledge, another Hifil form here, Yosef, Hifil imperfect, third masculine singular, both of them, increases sorrow. And so, really, human wisdom only increases more pain because you know the problems of life and you know the riddles, but you can't solve them. You have more understanding, but are you able to bring an answer to it? And the implication seems to be no. A lot of the philosophers are very sad. They know a lot, but they're not able to solve the riddles of life. And I think that's what the Kohelet is saying. And that's why it's my own conviction as a Christian minister that the only way I believe that one can understand real knowledge is to know Christ and what he taught and what he shared. To me, a type of, can I say, spiritual understanding and knowledge that he has revealed. But human knowledge, it's chasing down a rabbit trail because we cannot, the writer Kohelet is saying, figure out the mysteries of life and how to put everything together. We're not given answers, and we fall short. And I think only the Word of God, especially as taught by Christ in the New Testament, can give us a real understanding of knowledge. Human knowledge is very anemic and frail because, as he says, it gives you understanding, but it doesn't give you wisdom as to how to solve what you understand.